Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. I am going to show you how to correct the wrong foundation color. So, a couple things. I have 4 products here, 2 brands. NYX, these are Pro Foundation Mixers. You can get them online at Ulta or the NYX website. I have not seen them in stores. And Body Shop also creates lightening and darkening shade adjusting drops. These I did find in the Body Shop store at the mall. And thank you to my viewers who told me about these. So you guys have seen me use the wrong shade of foundation on my channel. It hasn't stopped me. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna make this work. If you found me through my Wayne Goss technique video, you know, like everyone is just aghast about how awful this foundation is on my skin. The Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 in the lightest shade they make. So anyhow, what I thought I would do today is explain to you the difference in these foundation mixer drops, because they are not the same in terms of just one's NYX and one's Body Shop. They are actually quite different. So I'm going to show you the difference so that way you know what you need to look for. And then I'm going to demonstrate to you, I'm going to actually use a foundation that's too light and a foundation that's too dark, and I'm going to mix them so that we can see a seamless corrected foundation look. Right? Yes. Now, there's a number of ways to fix your foundation. You can just go out and buy a darker shade. You can mix it with another brand you have that might be a darker shade, and you're like, oh, you can just add bronzer afterwards, you know. But if you love a formula and you can't seem to find a shade, or you don't want to always go out and buy the winter version and the summer versions of that formula, you can just buy these enhancer drops and keep them year round and use that same foundation and just modify it for how your skin tone changes, because my skin tone changes a lot. If I self-tan, even at Christmas time, I'll self-tan for like holiday parties, or at least kind of try to get a glow going. So I'll use like a different, I'll modify my makeup. And then of course in summer, you know, we're all sort of being different in terms of less or more. I'm sorry, I haven't even gotten to the demonstration yet. You guys are gonna be like, 2 minutes in, I haven't seen any product. Okay, so let's start with these NYX ones. These are $9.99. The first one is called White, and it's a foundation mixer. It is not intended to change the formula of what your foundation is to begin with. So here, I'll actually, instead of showing you NYX, I'll show you both whites, and then you can see the difference. So this is the NYX White, and it is white. So yeah, that is white, and it works great. I will say it has it doesn't have a lot of opacity to it, so it's not going to add tons of coverage to your formula already. This is the Body Shop Lightning Drops. These are $20. You get a ½ ounce in this, and you get 1 ounce in this. And yes, I know it's a price thing, but also pay attention because there's also a shade difference. So some of you were looking for something that adds a bit of pink to your foundation. Now this Blanc drops that they have, lightning, do they call it Blanc? No, I made that up. Okay, the lightning drops they have are actually more on the pink side than the NYX. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's actually just showing up cooler on my skin, and it looks just more white because this one has soaked in. But these are more opaque and they're more pink. Let me see if I can show you just, I don't know if you can see it through the bottle compared to what it looks like on the NYX tube, the white stripe. So the white stripe on the NYX tube is exactly what the color looks like when it comes out. And then the Body Shop product, if you can tell, it's just slightly pinker. So it has just a little more pink and a little more opacity. And this one I mixed with the Milani shade, and it worked perfectly for me. Okay, now the dark one is that even more dramatic in terms of the difference. So I wanted to show you that, because if you're looking to darken your foundation, this is the warmth, and they don't have another one. They just have one that's warmth. And this one, I'll show you on this hand. If you can see, it's quite red. Like it is definitely, you know, a bronze base. So this is going to add a lot of warmth and depth to your foundation. Okay, now the Body Shop darkening fluid is quite dark in almost like a cocoa brown way. It's not red. It is, you can see, it is brown and it is dark. So the level of concentration is very different. The Body Shop drops are very concentrated and you need a tiny, tiny bit. And then the NYX drops are not only a completely different shade, but less concentrated. And again, you can tell even in the tube, the NYX stripe is quite indicative of what's in the tube versus, and then here you can actually see through the bottle how they are side by side. So this is why it's important not just to mention price, but also to mention like what they're actually doing. So here's my Almay shade 110, and it is too light for me, but I love this formula. So I am going to do a smidge of the warmth, and it's kind of like just a painter's palette. You're just gonna kind of keep adding until you get a shade that works for you. And I actually think I kind of got that. You can test it on your neck. I think it's a little smidge light for my chest. So I'm gonna do just another little drop. And if you have a palette, like one of those glass palette, or even the back of a CD, I know, an old CD is what you can use for like a makeup artist's palette to mix. There. I also feel like I now have a shade that isn't too light for me. So let's just go in with my beauty blender. I didn't prime my skin. I only just sprayed a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. Could not remember the name. Okay. So I might need to do another layer of it, which, you know, it's a little tedious because then you're like, oh, gotta go through the steps again. Oh, life is so hard. Gosh. I'm kidding. Oh, and I skipped my forehead. See, this is why I need to make more. Okay. I think if you're a makeup artist and you do brides, these are must-haves in your kit, because I'm pretty sure, unless you have that big Makeup Forever or MAC kind of Uber palette, or you know the Ben Nye and the RCMA, you know, where you have like every color of cream foundation to possibly mix. If you just throw these tubes in. Okay. So now we know that that one is better. So do you guys want to see a little bit of how dark this is? Everyone freaks out how dark and yellow this is. It doesn't look that bad right now, but it's funny when people are like, oh my God, that's so bad. So you can see it's a little too yellow for my skin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a squirt of it, and I'm gonna take, this time, the Body Shop pink drops. And these are thicker, which I think I like. One more. You kind of have to come up with your own recipe. Like, do I need 2 drops? 1 drop? What do I need? Yeah, see, it's such a thicker formula, the Milani. Oh my God. But look at, we aren't as yellow. Look at how much we're blending. Like, it's the same as the other side. Just letting you know. I really do like this Milani foundation now that I'm getting it to work for my skin shade. It is pretty amazing stuff. If it works for your yellow complexion, or you want to do like me, and you guys, I have 3 bottles of this stuff because I was swatching it when I first reviewed it, and then I went to mix. I thought, oh, I'll mix them, and I bought 2 of the same by accident. And then of course I didn't get around to returning them, and so it's too late now. Again, the struggle. Okay, people, here we are. Do I still look a little bit more yellow on the side? I do, don't I? Yeah, I think that's from the formula. The formula is so much thicker, and I did, you know, I put a lot on, whereas the Almay formula is pink to begin with, and then I thinned it out and added some warmth to it. Or I shouldn't say I thinned it out, but it just applies thinner. So, but at least you can see that I don't have a huge difference between my neck and chest. And once I powder and bronze, perfection. Well, you know what I mean. I wanted to share that with you because I'm amazed by it. I think this will really help some of you. But I also wanted to just point out the difference, not in terms of like a dupe, because these are half the price as this and you get double the product, but also in the shade range that they are. So I think that's really important. And there you go. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions, or like if I missed something, you know, and please subscribe, click like, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.